All right, so this evening, viewers, we're going to ask you, we're going to put out, though, not the big questions, but the unanswered questions that are staring us in the face. Number one, how did the intruder get entry into the house? Number two, how did the attacker escape without guards noticing? Did the attacker get any insider help? The burglary bid a hasty conclusion? Why would a thief choose such a high-risk location? And ultimately, was it a targeted attack on Saif Ali Khan rather than the burglary theory? Let's take these questions to our guest this evening. Sahil Joshi, our Mumbai Bureau Chief, continues to be with us. Shobha Dey, columnist, also with us. Mahesh Tapse, spokesperson, NCP, Sharad Pawar faction. Meera Chadda, Borvankar, former Chief, Mumbai Crime Branch. Sanju Verma, national spokesperson, BJP. Let's cut across immediately right now, first to Shobha Dey, because there is a sense of fear right now that has permeated a lot of people in Mumbai, and Shobha Dey is one of them, where she does fear that maybe the 90s are returning in terms of the law and order situation. Shobha Dey, in a message posted on X, you said, appalling and highly disturbing. Bandra police station, does it even exist? Complete breakdown of law and order situation. Celebs live in dread and fear given this shabby state of affairs. Baba Siddiqui murder, gunshots outside Salman Khan's house, and now Saif Ali Khan stabbed. Is security becoming a concern? And let me use a cliche, Shobha Dey, for the rich and famous in Mumbai.
What has taken place today has really shaken up the city. It is indicative of a crisis in the way we handle law and order in Mumbai. Bandra, which is often referred to as the queen of the suburbs, is particularly shaken up because it's been a series of attacks within that particular suburb on high-profile people, Salman Khan, Baba Siddiqui, Shah Rukh Khan. A lot of people have been targeted. High-profile, moneyed business people, movie stars, and it certainly sends out a strong signal. And whoever is sending out that signal, we need to know what that signal is and why it's being sent out to these people, why they're being targeted. It's hard for me to buy the police narrative as it stands today that it was a theft attempt or a burglary attempt. It looks something far more sinister than that. It seems to have been meticulously planned. It's not that easy to penetrate layers of security for someone like Saif Ali Khan, walk into a building which has CCTV cameras, maybe hide out for many hours, wait for the right moment when he and his family are most vulnerable in the middle of the night, 2:30 in the morning, and stage such an audacious and bold and brazen attack. It really completely defeats me how we are supposed to accept as citizens that this is just one of those incidents that are happening in a mega city.
Sanju Verma, would you want to weigh in on that? Because there seems to be a sense of fear right now. And whether or not, the NCRB data suggests it or not, but if there is a series of incidents that they have been in Bandra alone, be it Shahid Siddiqui's murder, be it gunshots right outside Salman Khan's house, and now this incident. The larger question of law and order and security will crop up. If it can happen to a Saif Ali Khan, it can happen to anybody.
Preeti, first and foremost, my sincere, wishes to Saif Ali Khan and his family members. And I really want to tell them that the Mumbai Police is doing all it can to ensure that the culprit is nabbed. The first visuals are available, thanks to the CCTV footage, albeit one CCTV footage which has been recovered. But while this may sound cliched, I agree with Shobha Dey. The burglary attempt, was audacious, bold, and brazen. But to second guess the Mumbai Police Constabulary and assume that this was not merely a burglary attempt gone wrong, but something more sinister in the making, I think that would be a bit too presumptuous at this stage.
Okay.
Because let the police, do the needful. And while as citizens we have every right to question the government of the day, I think in sensitive matters such as these, especially when it concerns, celebrities, I think we need to be a little more discreet in jumping to conclusions.
Okay.
And I would just like to reinforce what Devendra Fadnavis, both in his capacity as the Chief Minister and the Home Minister, said. He said it is an unfortunate incident, but it would be incorrect to call Mumbai unsafe. Mumbai is still amongst the safest metropolises in the country, and the police are investigating the incident and will leave no stone unturned to
Okay.
ensure that
Mahesh
Saif Ali Khan
Thapse,
deserves justice.
you know, one incident in one high-rise where, yes, it's a celebrity in question, doesn't make an entire city unsafe, is the charge, Mahesh Thapse. Why politicize an incident of which is still, you know, there's still an investigation on in that?
First of all, I am not here to politicize any incidents. I sincerely pray that every word that Honorable Chief Minister has spoken comes out true. All the Mumbaikars, the rest of the state of Maharashtra and the country remains safe for everybody, not only celebrities and politicians, but the Aam Aadmi should be safe. So I sincerely wish whatever the CM has said in his statement should come out as the truth, and I'm sure that Mumbai will bounce back towards safety. But at the same time, we have got 3-4 such dangerous incidents, shooting and firing at Salman Khan's residence, Baba Siddiqui shot in, outside his son's office, and now ARSF house burglared and in the middle of the night. So all these things definitely have made all of us panic. I'm here. We have got a very nice forum at the moment, very eminent people on the forum, and everybody is scared. I mean, if the Nawab is not safe, then who else is safe in the city of Mumbai?
Okay.
That's a simple question that, I mean, anybody would want to ask. And what is wrong in asking that?
All right, let me also bring in, Kunal Kohli. He's a filmmaker. He's actually worked with Saif Ali Khan. Kunal Kohli, today there are way too many unanswered questions, and then of course there is this fear factor. How much does one address that fear factor? Do we look at it as a lone incident or something which is bigger and now bothering, especially, I'll use the cliche again, the rich and famous where Mumbai is concerned?
I'd like to step away from the politicization of this incident. Mumbai has always been a safe city. It has always been very secure. I live in Bandra, a stone's throw away from where Saif lives. There are no reported burglaries. If there were, we would have been made aware of it, and people would have said, you know what, be careful, there are burglaries going on. None of that has happened. There are no incidents of burglaries happening. So I think we should put aside all the politics, and everyone should focus their energies on trying to find out how exactly this happened and why exactly it happened. That is very important because this is a very planned activity, a planned action. He knew where he was going, whose house he was entering, why he was entering. It was all planned. You do not just walk into a house like that, which is on a top floor of a high-rise building. This is not a ground floor or a first floor or a bungalow where you can just scale a wall and walk in. No, this is on a very high floor. So all these questions have to be answered. And I trust Mumbai Police. Mumbai Police is one of the best police forces in the world. And I totally trust them. I trust the government. I'm sure they will get to the bottom of this. Our Honorable Chief Minister, Devendra Fadnavis ji, has come on camera and said that he's going to take action. I'm sure he will. But I think the questions that need to be answered are how did this guy get in? And what was his reason for trying to get in? Those are the things. Let's not divert from that. Because there haven't been, if you go through all the police reports of the last few weeks, there have not been burglaries in Bandra. One incident that has happened cannot just happen in Saif Ali Khan's house. And it's not just Saif Ali Khan's house. Kareena Kapoor herself is a very big personality. They have their own security. Every building has their own security. How are all these securities broken and entered without any signs of a break-in? So I think that needs to be focused on. And let's not please get into a blame game with anybody.
Leave the blame game aside, Kunal. I want to bring in Meera Chadda Borwankar. But Mr. Kohli, let me ask you a question. You worked closely with Saif, and there are a lot of people, not just fans, but well-wishers, who want to know how is Saif doing?
The time where we need to leave the family alone. See, what has happened is a child has seen his father being attacked. A mother has seen her husband and her child being attacked. Okay, they've been through this trauma. It is a very severe trauma for any child to go through. Let us give them the space. Let us give them their space, and let us give the Mumbai police the space to investigate the matter. Obviously, they are going to be very traumatized by this, not just today, for a long time to come. It's a very major incident for a 10-year-old child and a 6-year-old child to see their father being attacked in their house.
But how is Saif doing right now?
Kudos
Is
to
he
Saif
well?
and
Everything completely
bravery
fine?
and he held his own, and he protected his family. I mean, hats off to Saif for that. Brilliant action by him, and presence of mind, and attacking. God knows what could have happened. But I think we need to understand and not speculate. Let's not speculate on anything. There should be no speculation.
I want to
and
bring
there
in
should be
Meera Chadda
faith.
Burwankar, but the only question I'd ask you is:
Yes,
is he well? Is Saif well? Because we know he's been moved to the ICU.
Yes.
He's recuperating.
Yes, the doctors have said that he is recovering, and let's keep it at that. And he is recovering, and that's one thing that everyone is happy about and relieved with, that he's recovering and recovering well. So prayers with the family and him that he recovers well. He's a very brave man. He's tough. He's fit. So obviously he's been. So his recovery will be better.
Well, yeah, let's just hope that happens, and our prayers with him and the family. Ms. Burwankar, getting you into all of this, you've been the former chief, you've been the Mumbai crime branch, and possibly at a time where crime was rife in Mumbai, Ms. Burwankar. The question that I'll ask you now is, with what we see, are we going back to the 90s, or is it just too much fear-mongering? One or two lone incidents really doesn't, make or create a scenario that once again we are back into the gangs of Mumbai days.
No, I don't agree that we are back into 1990s. And I also agree that we need not speculate. We must give time to Mumbai Police. I'm very confident within 48 hours this case will be detected. But I want to flag two issues. One of your guest panelists did say, so much of police force, police staff is being used for VIP securities. So we are not able to do beat patrolling. We are not able to secure an ordinary citizen. One, that. Second, Maharashtra, state of Maharashtra spends less than 5% on its police. So we lack technology, we lack manpower. This case will definitely be detected, but citizens and all the guest speakers here today, or your panelists, must continue to pressurize politicians and political leadership to invest in the technology and in manpower, human resources of police. We also should not discuss where the children have been shifted to. These kinds of indiscretions should be avoided.
Fair point. Sahil, I want to bring you in before we go back to Ms. Shobha Dey. What is it, and what are the leads that the Mumbai crime branch is actually working on right now? Because the accused in this case, the perpetrator, who we believe, in these images, is still at large. We don't know where he is, number one. Number two, was this a targeted attack, or was it just a random burglary? What are the angles that the Mumbai police is exploring?
See, right now the case, if you look at the FIR, the case has been registered under sections of dacoity, using a sharp object, and also dacoity and a deadly weapon, and trespassing. These are the charges which has been, sections which has been used in the FIR. There is no section of attempt to murder, which is, as per BNSS now, it is 109. It's not 302 CRPC. But interestingly, what I am hearing at this point of time is that the Mumbai police believes that the person might be a history sheeter. So there is a possibility that this person must be having some past cases against him, similar kind of a cases, possibly, because the kind of attack he did on Saif Ali Khan. 6 times he stabbed him. Out of that, 4 times they call it a puncture, that he actually stabbed him inside his body using this sharp weapon, and there are 2 cuts on his hand and one on his arm. So that clearly shows that the man had an intent to become deadly, and he tried to do that. Secondly, now Mumbai police has identified the man. Right now, they are saying that nobody from the house knows him. So it has been mentioned, unidentified man entered in the house and was involved in a dacoity, and it's a failed dacoity attempt because Saif Ali Khan and other people tried to stop him, and then he attacked them. But they are searching for him. There are 8 teams which have been formed by the crime branch, the crime units of the Bandra police station, and then they have been searching for him. But it's taking a little bit long because the CCTV footage, what we have shown, is of at the time of 2:30 a.m. and the statement of Saif Ali Khan's maid, who actually saw him first, has clearly mentioned that she got up at around 2 a.m. in the morning and noticed that there is something happening in the house. She heard some noises, and that's how she understood that there is a burglary attempt inside the house. So after 2:30, the man has left the building without being noticed, and then it's been almost 12 hours that the police is now searching for him. So right now, they are trying to understand where the man has gone.
Okay.
The statements have been taken. They are waiting for time to take statement from Saif Ali Khan, because that will also be needed, and then rest of the investigation will happen. Preeti.
All right, Shobha Dev, you heard Kunal Kohli there. He's a part of the same industry that is being repeatedly targeted, be it Baba Siddiqui or, the gunshots heard outside Salman Khan's building or the attack on Saif Ali Khan. And he says that, listen, this is one-off incident. Mumbai is still very, very safe, and he has full trust in the system. However, earlier on, when you mentioned the flight of, high net worth individuals abroad. Do you think the government now needs to take measures to restore public confidence? All these incidents impact brand Mumbai of what it has been, a city considered to be the safest amongst the country.
Well, right now, this is what our Devendra Fadnavis has called it. He said it's one of the safest cities among the mega cities of India. That's a wonderful statement to make, but it's not a statement that a lot of people are buying into, given what has happened. It's been a series of attacks. It's not an isolated attack. So for him to say that, he has to ensure that we feel that level of safety that he's telling us, he's claiming exists and is in place. We do not feel safe. If Saif Ali Khan can be so easily targeted, what about the rest of us? People are insecure, particularly people in the suburbs in Bandra who live with this daily fear of, they don't know what exactly is going on. Is it some kind of a gang war that's likely to break out, as Mumbai has been rocked in the past? Are there people outside, non-state actors, who are manipulating Mumbai and making sure that they destabilize the financial capital of India? Are they scaring people off from investing in this city? Is it just about land grab? Is it about builders' lobbies sending out messages to people who are in positions of power that you either toe a line, behave, or the same fate that happened, that whatever happened to Saif Ali Khan is likely to befall on you? These are the things we need to look at more deeply, and the police, the Home Department, and the Chief Minister need to speak to the people of Mumbai today. They don't have to wait. They
okay,
don't have
we're
to
going to
put
take that
these,
question to our BJP spokesperson, but Ms. Dev, do you think it's you're being quick to suggest that the theory of a burglary attempt would be a hasty conclusion with, what I infer from what you've said. Now, you seem to fear that this was actually a targeted attack at Saif Ali Khan. Is it too early to reach that conclusion, is my question.
I simply do not buy this theory of a theft or burglary happening this easily in a building that has so many layers of security. And I find it hard to accept at face value the police version that it was attempted theft. It could be something far more sinister. And yes, it's irresponsible to put out theories which can't be substantiated at this point. The only good thing about it is that Saif Ali Khan was able to defend himself against this so-called intruder. They tried to first say it could be an inside job. If it was an inside job, it's not that tough to pick up whoever it was they believe was an insider who had targeted Saif Ali Khan. So I think we'll have to wait for a couple of days to make the connections and join the dots.
Okay.
It does not seem to me something that has happened in isolation. It seems like a much bigger plan to, in some ways, terrorize the movie people, terrorize it. It has happened in the past. There is something afoot there which we need to investigate more thoroughly, to send out a strong signal to vulnerable targets, particularly in Bandra, the movie stars and the business people, that maybe this place is no longer safe for all of you. Maybe Mumbai is not the right place for all of you. Well, this is where they live. This is where they've made their mark. This is where they've got everything that they own today is because of Mumbai and their professional commitments in this city. So if the signal is to get out of Mumbai, it's something that I find extremely alarming, because it will send out exactly that kind of signal to a lot of people who may not be as high profile, but certainly equally vulnerable. That if Mumbai is not a safe place for people to function in, and they're almost being pushed out of the city, like a lot of high-profile people are looking at Plan B, which is, some of the neighboring destinations like Dubai, and spending minimal time in the city, coming in and out just for work.
Okay.
It says something really quite
that
shocking
would,
about the breakdown in the law and order situation. And I'm sorry, but the onus has to be taken by the police and the Home Department, and the Chief Minister needs to reassure the people of Maharashtra and Mumbai in particular, and Bandra even more particular, that things are not as scary, as sinister as most of us believe they actually are.
No, that's disconcerting to hear, because if this is the kind of sentiment, Sanju Verma, that I'm not saying all, because yes, you have a Kunal Kohli who said this is a one-off and that needs to be investigated, and we have full faith. But if this is the kind of sentiment that does prevail in a certain section of a Mumbaikar today, no matter what society or rung of society he comes from, then it needs to be given credence too, where, like Ms. Day is saying, that possibly the Chief Minister, the Home Minister, needs to, come out and allay those fears and do it, concertedly, other than just, brushing it off and saying it's okay, it's a one-off incident.
Preeti, first and foremost, let me reiterate that nobody's trying to brush things under the carpet. At the same time, I agree with Kunal Kohli when he says that this is not the time to speculate. Is this incident something that is rather unfortunate? Could it have been avoided? Perhaps yes. Is it an insider job? We'll find out. Was this an organized attempt by an organized mafia, or was this just a one-off lone wolf incident? We will find out. But I think for anybody, I've been a Mumbaikar for donkey's years, but for anyone to be sitting on national television and waxing eloquent, on the one hand saying, let's not second guess the Mumbai police, let's not jump to conclusions, let's not speculate, and in the same vein and in the same breath, then saying that, Mumbai is increasingly becoming unsafe. I think that is carrying things a bit too far and being presumptuous, because at this time, while the Mumbai police and the state government needs to be held accountable by all means, I've always said, let's not digress and deflect from the moot issues at hand when it comes to larger issues pertaining to safety and security of our citizenry. Having said that, I think let the police do its job. Don't keep second guessing them and saying that nahi, ye to koi organized mafia, iske piche hai. I think these kind of brazenly irresponsible and reckless statements do little good to the situation at hand. Point number one. And point number two, let me just remind, I did not want to politicize this, and I think this unfortunate incident is not something that can be endorsed by me rattling off data on national television. But for whatever it is worth, let's not forget that in 2019, all the way till 2021, when Uddhav Thackeray was the chief minister, your audience needs to listen to this. When it came to conviction of heinous crimes, including sexual assault on women, attempt to murder and murder, the conviction rate had fallen to an abysmal low of 41.57%. And today that stands at a healthy 62.47%. I always maintain enough can never be enough when it comes to ensuring
also,
security
Sanju
for our
Verma,
citizens.
if fair point, but they're always
try and run down the police.
Okay, but there is.
Can you just hold your horses for a bit? All I'm saying is don't try to run down the police. They also need our support. And yes, let me tell you, in the last 1 year alone, more than 6,000 CCTVs have been put up in Mumbai, more than 3,500 in Thane, more than 2,200 in Bhiwandi. So the government is not keeping as someone would like us to be.
All right, I want to bring in Mahesh Tapse in all of this because, the data that Sanju Verma gave out, there are always two sides to the data as well, Sanju Verma, and you'll appreciate this as well. Because Mahesh Tapse, it's always good to ask for accountability from your leaders, especially those in power. I strongly believe that. But sometimes you need to also understand the situation and read the room, and possibly it might be a little too presumptuous to hold those accountable in saying that, if we are seeing a go back to the 90s right now, it's going to be gangs again in Mumbai. Because look at the data. The same data that Sanju Verma quoted, and I'll quote part of the data and we can put it out there. From 2019 to 2022, Mahesh Tapse, there has been a marginal drop in the murder cases in Mumbai. There hasn't been an increase. So while you have some high-profile cases which are staring us in the face, the data in terms of crime in Mumbai doesn't seem to suggest that we are seeing this burst of crime.
Well, let me tell you again that I am not here to politicize it, okay? Like any other panelist who stays in Mumbai, I also stay in the MMR region. And I want a safe city, not only for myself, for my children, and for everybody, for the whole. But yes, despite the CCTVs, despite whatever law and order machinery being revamped and new guns and probably everything, we saw Baba Siddiqui, what happened to Baba Siddiqui. We saw firing at Salman's residence. We also saw what's happened at Saif's house. So that does not absolve us from our responsibility. Us means I'm saying the government as such. We are also part of the government as an active opposition. Every citizen is a part of the government. It is government is duty bound to protect the lives of its citizen, irrespective of his stature. वो करोड़पति है या celebrity है, does not matter. He's just a normal man. The government has to protect his life. And so hence, yes, there was a marginal drop, and that's very appreciable. I think the Bombay Police record show about 20-30% drop in crime rate in 2023, if I'm not wrong. So I also have some statistics, but that does not again say what has happened, why celebrities are being targeted, why high-profile people are being targeted. Okay. Is there a design? What is wrong to interpret that? I mean, why can't... I'm sure that the police department, we have got Miraji, she's a very...
I'll bring her back
officer. I'm sure that they are thinking on those lines. We are missing are we missing certain meaning here sitting on this panel? Are we missing the meaning? Maybe the police department, the CID department, the intelligence department... Ms.
Burvankar, let me ask. Let me get Ms. Meera Chadda Burvankar back into this conversation. Are we... missing the woods from the trees? Is there a larger picture, Ms. Burvankar, that is being woven where Mumbai is concerned? While we are focused on these data figures of crime and seemingly has fallen down, is it like, Ms. Shobha Dey also articulated, that there's a sense of fear, there's a sense of deep concern where it comes down to the rich and famous of Mumbai?
Sense of concern, I accept. Sense of fear, I do not accept. And yes, as professional police officers, we also analyze the trends. And if celebrities are being targeted, please don't think that we are not aware of it. We are not following it up. We are following it up, but give us time. And let's not ourselves become fearmongers. I feel Mumbai still continues to be one of the safest cities. I feel we have highly professional police force and very dedicated officers. Just give them this time. They will find out the pattern as well as this particular case also.
All right, okay. Ms. Dey, the Mumbai Police considered, to be one of the most professional law enforcement agency in the country. They controlled the underworld menace, put an end to gang wars earlier. Can you trust them to do their job?
I'm sure the Mumbai Police can do it if they want to, because we have some of the absolutely top brains in the Mumbai Police. We've always been very, very proud of our police force. They've had dynamic commissioners in the past who've assured the city that nothing terrible is going to happen so long as they are there to maintain law and order. That confidence is definitely shaken, but I'm sure the police will do what is required. But more importantly, it's the concern for a lot of people is who are the police actually who are they reporting to? Are they reporting to the public? Are they responsible to the public? Or are they following the orders of political bosses? Are there political games at play here that the average citizen would not even be aware of? Are we the victims of political infighting? Are we the victims of political maneuvering and manipulating of our police force? The minute a police force gets compromised and starts reporting to their political bosses, then the city is in trouble. And I think that's the biggest fear that Mumbai is at the moment experiencing.
You know, Ms. Borvankar, the fact is Mumbai has always seen a very active citizenry. And they've always asked questions, especially when it comes down to those in power. Would you reckon that this should be welcome, that questions need to be asked, especially in this case? Because if you look at it till now, yes, it's not even been 24 hours, but the perpetrator of the crime, the accused, is still at large. And there are more unanswered questions than there are answers.
Absolutely. Questions are most welcome. In fact, citizens should help us and take us out of the shikanja of politicians. The way we fight for the who will hold the home department, that shows how keenly invested politicians are in managing police to what they want. So I would say citizens should not only speak, they should help, and they should help us get autonomy, which Indian police, Mumbai police and all state police need very badly.
You know, that's a great one to end with, but Sanju Verma, you want to come in? Please make your point, and I'll go back to the NCP spokesperson as well.
You know, Preeti, I have tremendous respect for Meera ji. Her track record is out in the public domain. Where I humbly disagree with her, I think, in fact, politicians need to be invested in the law and order machinery. We need to have empowered civilians. We need to have an empowered police constabulary. We need to have right, sane-minded politicians who are willing to be held accountable and who are invested in the judicial process, in the law of the land, in the home ministry. I mean, why should politicians not be invested in the, judicial process and in ensuring law and order? Because finally, that is what they've been voted for. And I say this despite being a politician myself. I say, hold a gun to my head, make me accountable. Let questions be asked of me, but at the same time, let's not engage in reckless, games related to making...
Okay, Mahesh Tapse, 30 seconds, sir. I'm going to close then. 30 seconds. Make your point.
I just want to say that this kind of an incident has left a deep impact on everybody's mind. We all feel that police should be given a free hand to nab and put a full stop. I am saying full stop to this kind of a activity which is happening in and around Mumbai region. Whether it's high profile or low profile, irrespective of that, whether it's a drug peddling happening in near schools and colleges, give the police free hand, let them put a full stop. Full stop means full stop. Don't ask them any questions. Stop protecting those MLAs and all for the time being. Let their forces go and let the police do the policing job. You need to have some kind of fear of the system. I mean, there is no fear.
Okay. Ms. Borvankar, I know I want to just bring in Ms. Borvankar for a quick 30 seconds before we close the show. You've headed the crime branch in Mumbai. Therefore, I want to ask you, what's your hunch, Ms. Borvankar? What do you think happened here?
It's what I can say is that it's not run-of-the-mill case, but I would not like to speculate further. And yes, I am with all of us that police must be given autonomy and free hand, not only for politicians and VIPs, but for an ordinary citizens of Mumbai and the country.
All right. Okay, we're going to end it on that. Because I would reckon let's not get into conspiracy theories just yet. Let this case unfold and see what exactly happened. Until then, accord the privacy that the family of Saif Ali Khan and Kareena Kapoor have requested for. We wish him a speedy recovery. And even though most of us still stunned on what really happened.